to go get some shorts. What's up, everybody? Got the transmission in. I gotta go get me some shorts. Let's see. Elko, Gary, Angie. I appreciate that. I'll show you what I got going on. All right. Let me live with you. All right. Transmission's in. Transmission's in. I'm putting the bolts in now. I've already got the top bolt on this side in and the top bolt on the other side. And I got the engine braced up right here. And then what I'm gonna do, since I got the top two bolts in, you see it has that little void right there. See that little void right there? It's in the dowel pin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen that jack right there. Let this jack come down. When this jack comes down, what it's gonna do is gonna make that transmission do this, because it's got the two bolts in the top. And since it's got the two bolts in the top, when the tail end comes down, when the tail comes down, it's gonna close that gap right there, and then I can get the other two bolts in. So that's it right there. I need a transmission jack. So that's why I didn't go live doing it, because I had to get this where I needed it, get this where I needed it, and then just slid it into place. And then once you get the dowel, pin in on both sides, all you gotta do is just wiggle it and it'll fall right in. And then you get the top two bolts started. And once you get the top two bolts started, that's like somebody holding it. That's like an extra set of hands. And then when you let it down, then it's gonna close up the gap, and then we'll put the torque converter bolts in. But it's 11 o'clock. Let me turn this fan off. What's up, Eddie? What's up, Impala J? So that's that. I gotta keep up with my time. Let's see, it's 11 o'clock. So we're gonna write down, we stopped at 11. Let me show you something. Boy, about to eat me a cheese jalapeno biscuit. So what's up, Gary, Impala J, 84, Elko, Angie. Yeah, that right there is that's the ATV jack. That's the ATV and motorcycle jack. That thing works great. What in the hell? I just put the transmission in. I didn't go live. It took me about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Got the transmission in. I got the top 2 bolts in right there. I got the top 2 bolts in, and then I got the engine blocked up so it can't go nowhere. So I got the top 2 bolts in right here, like at 11 o'clock. And then when I let the jack down, it's going to let the transmission drop, and then it'll squeeze that part right there, and then we can put the other bolts in it. Yeah, it's a 700R. 700R. Yep. Yep, 700R. So and once we get that done, so we gonna get back on it. Let me get this. No, I ain't Hollywood. That's her hollering it. That's her hollering at Hollywood. She's hollering. All right, let's get the bolts. Let's get back to it. That's enough break time. Let's see. All right, now let me show you. All right, see, I got that bolt in right there, and I told you when I let the jack down, it'll close that gap. See that? So you use those 2 bolts at the top as a pinch point, like an extra set of hands. And then when I let the jack down, see the jack, see the transmission? It's at an angle. It's touching here, but it ain't touching here. And the reason why it ain't touching here is because it's sitting there at an angle, right? So by doing that, like the seesaw effect, now that bolt right there, get my big old fat fingers on it. Might have to put the camera down. So you got that one started. And then this thing only had 4 bolts in it. They didn't even have the bolts at the top. So I'm gonna put all the bolts in it. So the ones at the top, the way top up there, it's gonna be a little tricky. So might have to, once we get it all done and get the cross member in, get this one bolted and this one bolted. That'll hold it. And then put the cross member in, and then pick the car back up, and then get a long 4-foot extension, and then reach from way at the back all the way at the top to get the top bolt in. So let me put this camera down. Let me put this camera down because I need both my fingers. I need both hands. So This should be 9/16. I'm gonna need a little shorty. Gonna need a little shorty. I'm gonna have to use that little sausage, that little shorty. Use that little choke dog. We have this thing here, we have this thing whipped in a second. Now I'm not tightening them. I'm not tightening them all the way. I'm just snugging them. Cause you don't wanna tighten one side and then you get all cattywampus with you. So we're just tightening one side. Come out here, let me live with you. Y'all can ride right there, can't you? Hell yeah, y'all can ride right there. Y'all can ride right there. Goddamn. You alright? You okay? You fall down? Goddamn, knocked him down, Jay. Sheesh. I didn't mean to do that for you. I didn't mean to knock y'all down. Keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Well, we're killing it, boy. Killing it. 900 miles an hour. Like a damn chihuahua, all that barking, no moving. That thing just barely moving. Alright, let me go get another. That son of a boo like to hit me in the damn face. Let me go get another bolt. Let me go get another bolt. Need a flat and a lock. Put this bolt in there, people. We put this bolt in here, it should be secured. I'm gonna do most of it with my finger. Oh, we're gonna need that little extension. I swear. Damn it, boy. Oh, she tight. Had to hit it from the back and make it drop out. Thing was damn tight, damn bullfrog butthole tight. All right, so we're gonna get right. Why ain't that thing sitting like it's supposed to? Right there. We gotta get right here. We get this one, it should be good. Go back to the other side and tighten the other side. Then we put the cross member in and the new transmission mount. Keep on knocking. So what we're doing is putting a 700R transmission, been freshly rebuilt, and a 63 Impala, bolted up to a 350 small block from Blueprint engine with Sniper 2 fuel injection. Engine is 400 horse, 400 foot-pounds of torque, and has a new, the whole transmission has been rebuilt. It's got a new stall converter. I put about 2 quarts of transmission. Put about 2 quarts of transmission fluid in the torque converter. The transmission has no transmission fluid in it, and the reason why is because weight. So I didn't want to have to handle the transmission with 14 quarts of transmission fluid. But all right, let's go to the other side. Tighten up the other side. Yeah, 2 things not allowed in the chat: politics and religion. If you talk about religion and politics, everybody with a blue wrench will take care of you. There's enough of that shit regurgitated in our face every day. We're not gonna get it regurgitated in our face on my channel. You can take that shit somewhere else. You best believe that. Let me see what the comments say. Uh, 700R, 700R4. All right, let's tighten up these 2 bolts on this side. Now to put the torque converter bolts in, that's a little tricky. It's a little tricky. Like Trick Daddy, it's a little tricky. So I'm gonna have to get one bolt started, and then I need that tool to grab the flex plate and rotate the flex plate, or I can put somebody in the car that I can and have them bump the starter after I get one bolt in it and just bump it and turn it. But we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that right now. We're just gonna do this, put the transmission cross member in, and then like I said, we at 25 minutes. Y'all know I like to keep these lives at 60. So like I said, it didn't take me about 15 minutes to get the transmission actually to this point. So I figured I'd jump on here and show you the little trick how to get it. I can't remember what the torque spec's supposed to be on these, but it's supposed to be just J Green type. Also, I did a little short. I noticed that you guys, when y'all putting y'all's flex plates on for automatic transmission and the bolts that go in the flex plate, I noticed you guys are not putting no Loctite on them, no blue Loctite. And if you are putting Loctite on them, you never mentioned it in the video or anything that you actually put blue Loctite on them. So if you didn't put blue Loctite on your flex plate bolts that bolts to the back of the crank, you might want to go back and do it. You might want to go back and do it. All right. You might want to go back and do it. All right, let me turn you around here. Let me leave with you. All right, so we got that bolt and that bolt, but we have, you see up there, you see that ear at the top? There's 3 more ears at the top. There's one at 11 o'clock, there's one at 12 o'clock, and there's one at 2 o'clock. This car didn't even have those 3 bolts in. They only had these 2 at the bottom. We're not gonna let it do that. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna let the we're gonna move the transmission jack. We're gonna move this jack back a little bit, and then we're gonna pick up the engine, or excuse me, we're gonna pick up the transmission, and we're gonna put the new transmission mount, and we're gonna just reuse the transmission cross member that somebody made way before I was here. So we did clean up these brackets. So I do have a new transmission mount, and it's a 700R, so we'll do that right there. So let me get up out of here. Let me get up out of here. All right. All right, so we got the transmission mount right over here. This is the transmission fluid. This is what I'm using. This is what the transmission shop said to use. So that's what they said to use. That's what I'm using. Here's the the Loctite that I'm talking about is right here. Threads lock blue 242, which is removable. Hey, I appreciate that, JT. If you've not been doing it a long time, I would suggest get a torque. I'd suggest get a torque burr. I mean, a torque wrench to put on it. But in my case, that's 35 foot-pounds. All right, so here's the new transmission mount. It came FedEx. It is 2394. Yeah, 35 ain't that much. That's what I said. Yeah, Mac, I'm talking about I'm talking about putting Loctite on the flex plate. Oh, I know, right? They put, look, this is blue, but it's in the red. This is blue, but it says removable, but it's in the daggone red tube. New transmission mount. I don't know if I have let's see if we got a nut for this stud. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Like I said, no politics, no religion. No politics, no religion. There we go. All right, so here's the difference. This is a lock washer. See that? That's a lock washer. Let me show you. Let me get over here in the light so I can show you. For the ones that don't know, for the ones that don't know, this is a lock washer. All right? See that? If those two pieces are touching, it's no good. The lock is already locked out. So don't reuse locks. Don't reuse lock nuts. Like the nylon lock nuts, don't reuse them. You can reuse them if you want to, but you ain't supposed to reuse them, all right? So these are lock washers, and these are flats, all right? So when I say, do you have your locks and your flats? That's what I'm talking about. These are your locks, these are your flats, okay? So you put your flat, your lock, and your nut, and then you torque it down, all right? You see, once you start to tighten it down, well, once you put it together, you see it's not level, right? But when you torque it down, it flattens the lock, which is spring steel, and it keeps pressure on the nut and clamping force on the bolt, so therefore it cannot back off. All right. So, what's up, London? Welcome to the channel. So when you take locks off, when you take flat locks off, the spring steel it's been spent, so it's no good. See, Impala, it's no good to reuse it. So, just a little tip there on that. So, let's go out here and put this let's go out here and put this transmission mount on, the rear transmission mount, and this will probably be wrapped up this episode. Oh, we got to get the cross member. So here's the cross member. This is the cross member that they made, whoever, all right? And it goes like, well, that don't look right. That don't look like we're gonna get there from here. We might have to do a little bit of modification. I don't know what transmission mount they had, but I'll tell you what transmission mount we're using. We're using this one, boys and girls. But let's see what we got going on. We just might have modified our bracket. It ain't gonna be no big deal. Ain't nothing a drill can't fix. I'll catch up on the comments after the fact. I wonder what damn transmission mount they had. We might have to make a new transmission mount altogether. I don't know. I don't know, people. Hey, look, to clarify something, the ones in the blue and the one in the green, they get recognition before everybody else. Because the ones in the blue are members and the one in the green are members. So if you're member to the channel, you get perks. You know, but I'll talk to anybody. I mean, I'll talk the ears off a damn billy goat. I just don't like the way that looks. Of course it's not the right size. Of course it's not the right size. Let's go get the right socket. Y'all hang tight. We just about to wrap this up. We're gonna put a little bit of power on this one. I'll let you live with me in a second. Hold on. Just hold on. I'll show you here in a second. All right. All right, let me show you what I got going on. All right, let me show you what I got going on. All right, so this transmission mount has one pin. And their bracket that I don't even know because the transmission mount was busted. So transmission mount that was on here just fell apart, so I just threw it in the trash. So they had it where it has two holes. All right, two holes. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what I can do is I can drill a new hole right there in the center. I can drill a hole right there in the center, and I can just take a cutoff wheel and just connect the circles and make this open, and then we can put that bad boy in there. So we got a little bit of time. We at 30 minutes. We at 30 minutes. We can do that in just a few minutes. And fix it. Let's fix it. Let's go fix it. Let's go fix it. Let's go fix it. Let's fix it. Y'all want to fix it? Let's fix it. Y'all want to fix it together? Y'all want to fix it together? We'll fix it together. Let's fix it together. Let's fix it together. Together. Try one of these new Diablo drill bits. See if we can break this one. Let's see my handle. Let's see my trigger fell off. My trigger broke. Used to have a horse named Trigger. No, I didn't. Trigger! I've had this drill press right here for a long time. This son gun's been thrown. This thing's been hauled, abused. Some bit sharp. Keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Keep on knocking. Yeah, that's a, yeah, it's yeah, that I've had that drill press cars 20 years. 20 years. That's old Harbor Freight Special there, boys and girls. All right, so now I'm just gonna go get the grinder, the cutoff wheel, and we're just gonna open that up right there. We should be good to go. Y'all hang tight, let me go get the grinder with the cutoff wheel. I gotta find my earbuds. There they are. Gotta protect my hearing. Well, gotta protect my hearing. I gotta protect my hearing. I gotta protect this one ear. I only got one. I have an 88 and an 89 250R. I gotta have two. Huh, I used to have some 250Rs. Sure did. So we're just gonna connect the circles. We're gonna modify their modification. We just modified their modified. All right, let me find me some bolts. Might have some. Might have some extra ones right here. Hold on, boys and girls. About to have this thing whipped. About to have this thing whipped. We need a lock and a flat. An 89 Lone Star, Frank. Man, that's some old school shit there, buddy. Man, that's some damn old school Curtis Sparks kind of shit, man. Yeah, I know all about that shit. Sure do. Let me live with you. I ain't heard Lone Star in a long time. In a long time. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell they had going on. To be honest with you. I got no clue. We might be making a new damn transmission mount. What in the damn Jimmy Crack Corn hell they got going on in this juke joint? I don't know how in the hell. I ain't got no clue. I don't know how they done that. Unless the old mount was a thin mount. If the old mount was a thin mount, then that would make sense. Because there is not enough room. So let me show you. Let me show you what they all got going on. Let me let you live with me. All right, look here. All right, so they had this old transmission mount sitting on top of these brackets. There is a nut welded inside this tube, and then the bolt goes through this and bolts this. The transmission cannot go up any higher. Cannot go up any higher. It's touching the bottom of the floor pan. I mean, the bottom of the car. It cannot go up anymore. So, well, Mac, that would make sense, but the holes don't line up to the transmission. The holes here. I mean, the bolt's here. The holes over here. But that's okay. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're going to cut this. We're just gonna make a new transmission mount. We're just gonna make a new one. We're gonna make a new one. We're gonna make a new one, boys and girls. Let me get out from underneath this thing. I'm just gonna make a whole new transmission mount. I'll just make a new cross member. It is what it is. We just put a 700R in a 63 Impala. So hit the daggone subscribe button and notification bell. And if you want to see OG6 being built, which is an 84 Cutlass with Red's hydraulics, 16 switches, all chromoly bracing and boxing the chassis, you have to become a member to the channel. And because I am going live tonight or this evening and going to start on the Cutlass chassis this evening. So be building the Cutlass chassis this, or start working on the Cutlass chassis this afternoon. And yeah, use zip ties and a hose clamp. Call it a day. Yeah. Or cars you bought made me slip. Yep. Said, yeah, I believe it only had one bolt in the frame and one for the transmission. Let me get my drink and let me catch up on the comments. We at 50 minutes, so it worked out pretty good. So at 50 minutes, let me get caught up on the comments, and then we'll go from there. So hold 1 second. Hold tight. All right, let me set that right there. All right, let me catch up. It's wool wax on the bottom, on the bottom of the car. We did that a few episodes back. If you want to go check that out. Who asked that? Trav Harrison. If you go back and watch some old videos, live videos, we did wool wax on the bottom of it, which is the first time using wool wax. So got the transmission in. I will see if get the torque converter bolts in, and then I got to call the drive shaft shop and see if I can bring them the old drive shaft so they can shorten it and balance it. Yeah, you're right, Nathan. You're right. But sometimes, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And, you know, the client was okay with it. But now the transmission mount, I don't know what transmission mount they had on it. They might have made a transmission mount, like a rubber mount, and it just deteriorated. I don't know. Because when we took the transmission down, it just fell apart. So I ordered a transmission mount for a 700R, which that's what that is. So what I'll do is I'll just come up with a game plan and just use the tabs that's already on the chassis, and then just make, if I had my tube bender, I'd bend a piece of 1-inch tubing and make a drop mount. But I'll come up with something. I have some 1-inch tubing. I have some 2-inch tubing, so I'll have to figure out something. I'll figure something out. Oh, no, Nathan, no. You're right. Hey, no, hell no. Just like Carr says, accountability, baby. Just like Tulu says, accountability. You right, I did say that. You're exactly right. And I was going to use what I already had, you know. So, no, you good, man. I do not know alternative transmission fluid. It's all right, Metal. I can make something. Like I said, tonight we're going to start the series on building the 84 Cutlass, which will I'll give you a little sneak peek. I'll give you another little sneak peek. If you run this, if you've been on here this long, I'll show you a little sneak peek. My good friend JoJo out at Reds, he built all the hydraulics. Right here they are, right there. There's the hydraulics, right there. So if you want to watch that, you're gonna have to become a member. I talked to some people that I value their opinions, and they said once you do OG6, the 84 Cutlass, you need to make it members only, and just push it members only, because you have a lot of members, and I'm thankful for all the members, and give them something a little bit special than what everybody else sees. So that's what we're going to do. Well, I say me. That's what we're going to do. So I've went through the bone pile, and I got some. I'm gonna tell you what's going on, but you're not gonna be able to see what's going on unless you're a member. So I got to looking online, and all the brace kits and all the structure kits and all the stiffening kits for a G body is all out of 1/8 inch plate, which is 11 gauge. Which is 1/8 inch, which is 11 gauge. I have some 11 gauge, so I'm gonna see if I can get the burn table going today sometime. If not, we'll just see what happens. We'll start cleaning up the chassis, whatever, but I'm gonna cut some pieces, and we're gonna start boxing in the chassis. I gotta go pick up some chrome ollie tubing, and I need to get a tube bender. So what we're gonna do on the chassis, I'll just tell you. right here. And if you want to see it, you're going to have to come be a member. We're going to build a chain bridge. We're going to extend the front A-arms. We're going to box in the chassis. We're going to put some support braces in the chassis. We're going to clean up the chassis, get it all ready. We're going to remove all the brake lines, the fuel lines. We're going to keep all that stuff because we don't want to mess it up because it looks like it was good. We're going to keep all of it for templates. Then we're going to, once everything's done and all the metal work's done on the chassis, going to have the chassis blasted. Then I'm going to epoxy it, and then I'm going to paint it. I was going to powder coat it, but it depends on how smooth I get the metal. It depends on how smooth I get it in metal. If I can get it super smooth in metal, if I get all the metal super smooth, we'll powder coat it. If the metal is not where I want it to be, I will epoxy it, spray high build epoxy on it. I will sand the chassis, and we will base coat, clear coat it, and paint the chassis. I really would like to powder coat it because powder coat would hold up better. But the metal finish work has to be flawless for powder coat. So just stay tuned. No, I do not have an oven, but there's one about 30 miles north of me, Premier Powder Coating, and they use all of Mystic powders. And the color, I'll give you a little sneak peek on this. Here's the color that the chassis is going. Right there. So yeah, that's it right there. So I appreciate you, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. We at the 58-minute mark. Like I said, you tune in, you want to see OG6, it's going to be members only. I greatly appreciate it. Remember what I said, boys and girls, don't worry about the man up the road, down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first, let loose and drag. Peace, up, and chicken grace. I'm out.